Okay, so jumping into Sherry's session, I'm going to go through and let you see all of her images like we've done with everybody else. Okay, so Sherry, the first I'm going to point out to you is when I first went through these, um, number 5 seemed a bit off. I don't know if it was just size weird or if it was just a little blurry image or I don't, it looks a little pixelated to me. So it's just kind of important when you go through to check your images before you submit them. So like as you kind of, browse through from this one to this one, they're sharp, and then you get to this one, it's just a little fuzzy. So I'm not sure if something happened on the resizing because I checked the sizing and size correctly. So just make sure you go through your pictures and make sure they all look sharp in the way they're supposed to, and nothing looks a little off before you send it in, because it's just kind of a sore spot in the session as the publisher kind of goes through. Excuse me, this session. I know before, like when I said my kind of, I guess, perfection aside, or everything is to be even. When I first went through here, and you started with the pictures of your friend's 2 daughters, another picture of your friend's 2 daughters, and then you have this little set of the young girl, which I thought was adorable. And then he goes back into the other girl. So at first I thought, okay, well you did the young girl, what about the older girl? And then when I got to the end, you did a little set of the older girl, which I thought was really, really cute. So you did make everything even, and I like how you kind of spread that out so it wasn't, so many pictures of the first set of outfits, so many of the second. I really, really thought that was awesome how you did that. I really don't have a ton to say about this because you did such a great job. I love number 3. I just love her, the way you set this diptych, and these portraits are just so stunning. 2 beautiful little girls. I love how you posed everything. I love how you got pictures that were a little different, like her running away here, where they're not always looking at the camera. I love the different crops and angles you shot at. This was just a great, great session. I know you didn't have a ton of props in this session. I like how you did little pictures like this where the girl's holding out the prop here, and you took some detailed shots of her belt, which was great. So just kind of telling people you don't have to have actual details or props in your session because some photographers don't shoot that way. Just shooting little things like this will suffice for that, and bloggers love this type of thing. So great job, Sherry. I loved this session. It was awesome. Okay, so the last one we're going to go over is Tracy's. And I'm going to go through and just let you see all of her images like we've done with everybody else. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to say is, Tracy, your images were not sized correctly. The first assignment asked for 900 pixel wide images, which your images are sized at here, but the second assignment asked for you to change them to 600 pixels wide, and I did that because I wanted to make sure you guys were kind of paying attention, because blogs do update that page on a regular basis, or they might not, but some do. They might get rebranding, or they might redo their blog. And Lemonade Lenses just redid our blog, and went from 600 pixels to 900 pixels wide to make the pictures bigger, and we're actually going to go through another rebranding this fall where a designer's coming in, so the specs might change again. So it's very important to kind of keep an eye on that submissions page and check it every single time you're submitting to make sure nothing has changed. They don't ask for different submission requirements. Your images are still going to be sized correctly. So that's very, very, very important. So I kind of wanted to point that out. I also wanted to point out it says 01 minus 1 and 01 are exactly the same image. Again, just going through and making sure your submission looks flawless, there's nothing wrong with it. Just submitting 2 pictures like that just looks a little messy to the publisher. I know I'm sure it was probably an accident, but again, just kind of going through and checking everything to make sure all your pictures look correct, all the sizing is correct, all the numbers are correct, everything's named after your name. Will just kind of help everything look clean and flawless when the publisher gets to it. I know in your little survey thing that you filled out, you said that you wish you shot a little bit more props. And when I talk about prop shots, you don't need to do every single picture has to be a prop. I actually didn't think that your session was lacking any detailed shots. Like you had this one, which is a really close up of her bow, and then you had this diptych right here where you kind of had a close-up of the flowers and the wagon. I know you mentioned that you kind of wish you took a picture of the wagon solo, which would have been nice, but I don't think your session's lacking any details. I wouldn't say that. Maybe for the next time, kind of push yourself to take more detailed shots, but I like that you at least have 2 in there. Anything less than that might be lacking it. Yes, it could use more, but again, it's not going to make or break your session. Just kind of push yourself for the next time. Maybe take more pictures of her floral crown, maybe of her holding it or of the ground. And like you said, kind of step back and take a picture of the cart. Other than that, I don't have a ton to say about your session. I absolutely love the styling for it. I love how you did kind of change up everything. You have different facial expressions. I love the little series you did here. I love how you pulled in different props, but you kept it all kind of the same with the floral. Absolutely love, love, love this session. Maybe the only other thing I'll say is a lot of them she's looking at the camera, but you do have a couple here or there to where she is looking down, like over here. But yeah, maybe kind of change up her facial expression changes, which is great. But again, she's still looking at the camera in a ton of them. So maybe kind of change that up as well. Remember, she doesn't always have to be looking at the camera. But your posing is different, which is great. Her facial expression is different, which is great. The angle and crops of what you shot, which was different, which was great. So that's probably the only other thing I have to say. Overall, guys, you did an amazing job with assignment 2. Make sure you check the bottom of today's forum for an awesome prize that I've got, an awesome surprise that I've left for you guys. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the forum below. Today is the last day for the class, so make sure you get those questions in if you would like them to be answered. And thank you guys so much for taking this class with me. I really, really enjoyed teaching it. I hope my sickness hasn't delayed too much or kind of offset anything too much for you guys. But again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. And again, thank you so much for being part of this experience with me.